Plaque doesn't hurt, doesn't warn you, and can kill you in minutes. Just stop and imagine. The most dangerous thing in your body is the most silent. No sound, no warning, no pain. One day it blocks the flow of blood to your heart, and it's all over in minutes. That's cholesterol silently building up in your arteries, the silent killer of millions of older Americans. There was a 70-year-old man in Florida. He had always been healthy, had never been hospitalized, and only occasionally complained that climbing a few stairs was a little tiring. His family reassured him, it's just old age. But the next morning, while watering his small garden, he suddenly collapsed. He had no time to complain of pain, no time to call for help. The doctor said a heart attack occurred because plaque suddenly burst in an artery. He passed away so quickly that even his family could not believe it. Plaque is like grease in an old bus pan. It builds up over time. You don't see it, you don't hear it, but when it gets so thick, it clogs everything up. And in the body, that means your heart is deprived of oxygen in an instant. But the good news is there is a way to clear your cholesterol naturally. In this video, I'll take you on a 90-day journey, one that research has shown can stabilize plaque, clear your arteries, and give your heart a chance at a longer, healthier life. And remember, at the end of the video, I will reveal nutrient number 7, little known but extremely powerful, can become a protective shield for your heart. Don't miss it, because it can be the last piece for you to live for decades more with your children and grandchildren. This is just the beginning, and your heart deserves to be heard until the end. If you are over 60, this video could literally save your life. Every year, more than 700,000 Americans suffer a heart attack, many of them completely unaware that their arteries are blocked. And the scary thing is, many of them are older people who think they're just tired from age. But the truth is, their hearts are screaming for help. They just don't realize it. That's why I want you, yes, you, the person watching this video, to stay until the end. Not so I can get another view, but because the next few minutes could be the difference between a life and an abrupt end. Click subscribe to receive the series Protect Your Heart today. This is not just information, but the weapon you need in the silent war against cholesterol and plaque. Share this video. You never know, maybe a friend, a neighbor, or even a family member will be saved from tragedy thanks to your click. And I want you to comment, have you ever felt any of these symptoms? Because when you write, you not only share your experience, but also help hundreds of other people realize they are not alone. You see, you are not alone in this journey. Millions of older Americans face heart disease every day, and together we can turn our fear into strength to protect our hearts. And I promise, in just a few minutes, you'll hear a nutritional secret that most doctors never tell you. It could be your heart's ticket back. Cholesterol is like the grease that forms on an old pan after years of cooking. It thickens, hardens, and silently blocks the flow of fluids inside your body. Imagine washing a pan that your family has used for decades. It starts out as a thin layer of grease, but over time, it becomes thicker, harder, and harder to scrape off. The same goes for our arteries. Cholesterol starts out as just a speck of dust floating around in our blood, but over time, it begins to stick to the walls of our arteries, forming a soft layer of plaque. It sounds harmless, but it's a ticking time bomb in our chest waiting to explode. When the thin layer of plaque breaks, a blood clot forms, and within minutes, the heart can stop beating. That's why hundreds of thousands of Americans, more than 700,000, suffer heart attacks each year, don't get a chance to say goodbye. You see, plaque has 3 dangerous stages. First, cholesterol circulates in the blood, silently, without warning. Second, it becomes soft plaque, like a stretch of highway with a big pothole that could cause an accident at any moment. And finally, the body attempts to patch the road by hardening the plaque. This hard plaque is less dangerous, but it still constricts the flow of blood, forcing it to squeeze through like a highway narrowed to one lane. The scary thing is that we often feel nothing during this process. No pain, no signal, no warning before the tragedy happens. Only when we understand the mechanism of cholesterol and plaque formation can we know how to prevent it, how to clean the old pans inside our bodies, and give our hearts a chance to continue beating for many more years. The most dangerous thing is not a sudden heart attack. It is the trap of the American lifestyle, where every hamburger, every sleepless night, every cigarette quietly erodes your heart day by day. Consider your daily life: a quick McDonald's meal, a day spent sitting in front of the TV, a stressful evening over unpaid bills. No one would think that these little moments could add up to a death trap that traps the heart. Doctors call it a high-risk lifestyle, but I prefer to call it by a more memorable name: the devastating quad. First is grease, like layers of asphalt piled on top of each other, clinging to the inside of the arteries. Second is sugar, sweet on the tongue but like glue, causing cholesterol and fat to stick to the walls of the arteries. Third is smoking. Each puff of smoke is like a punch to the fragile lining of the blood vessels, damaging them and making them more susceptible to plaque. And finally, stress, the most dangerous hidden enemy. Prolonged stress releases hormones that cause blood pressure to spike, the heart to beat faster, like a car going full throttle on a slippery road. Sooner or later, it will skid. Each element of the devastating quad is like adding a tightening band around your blood vessels. One band is loose, but four are tightened together. Your arteries are no longer breathing. That's why Americans over 60 have the highest heart attack rates in the world. But the good news is you don't have to cut it all in one day. Just untie one string first. Eat less fat, cut back on sugar, replace cigarettes with a few minutes of walking, practice breathing exercises to reduce stress, and the stranglehold will loosen. And so, step by step, you'll be giving your heart more years. It's not the pain that kills, it's the little signals we ignore. Many Americans over 60 believe that a heart attack comes with a cinematic twist, clutching your chest, collapsing. But in reality, your heart whispers subtle signals that are easy to ignore. At first, it's just a feeling of fatigue when climbing a few flights of stairs. Just old age, you think. But that could be your first warning that your heart is struggling to pump blood through narrowed arteries. As the condition worsens, the signs become more obvious. A brief chest pain, a cold sweat on your forehead while you're resting. It's still easy to brush it off as stress, but in reality, it's your heart's way of calling for help. And as the disease progresses, with pain radiating down your left arm and difficulty breathing even when sitting still, that's when it becomes a life-threatening situation. Let me tell you the story of Martha, 66. One evening, she felt a burning sensation in her chest, thinking it was just heartburns after a spicy dinner. She drank some water, went to bed, and forgot about it. The next morning, when she went to the doctor, she learned that she had suffered a mild heart attack. If the pain had been any worse, she might never have seen her grandchildren again. Early recognition of these signs is more than just medical knowledge. It's a lifeline. Don't wait until your heart screams, listen when it whispers. Did you know? There could be a time bomb inside your body, and it won't cause any pain until it explodes. Think of your blood vessels as a water pipe in an old house. At first, the water flows smoothly without any problems, but gradually small deposits accumulate on the inside of the pipe. If the deposits are soft, they are like sticky mud, and a strong stream of water can loosen them, flow away, and clog the entire system. That is when a heart attack occurs. The problem is that most seniors have no idea that they have these dangerous soft patches. They lie there quietly, without warning, without causing pain. But just a moment of carelessness can turn into tragedy. Listen to the story of Mr. James, 72, in Florida. He was healthy and often took his grandchildren for walks every afternoon. One day, while laughing and talking with his family, he suddenly collapsed. After emergency treatment, the doctor said, "You are lucky to be alive. There is a soft plaque in your artery that has just ruptured." That moment shook his whole family, because no one expected the danger to come so suddenly. So what does pycnogenol do? It's an extract from the bark of the French maritime pine, a wonder nutrient that's been scientifically proven to work like a master craftsman. It transforms soft plaque, which is like crumbly mud, into a more stable, hard plaque. Once stabilized, plaque doesn't crack as easily, reducing the risk of sudden blood clots. the main culprit behind heart attacks. To put it figuratively, pycnogenol acts like a protective cement, sealing the cracks in your blood pipes so that blood can continue to flow safely. It not only slows the formation of new plaques, but also helps make your blood vessels more elastic, reduces inflammation, and improves circulation. Don't think that when you get old, you have to accept it. Today's science gives you a tool. Pycnogenol, just a 150 milligrams per day, under the advice of a doctor, can become a shield to help your heart avoid unexpected tragedy. Did you know? Your arteries can be like a leaky pipe, small, unnoticeable, but over time it can bring down the whole house. Imagine a plumbing pipe in your kitchen. At first, it's just a small crack, a few drops of water leaking out every day. You think, no big deal, it's just a small problem. But then each drop turns into a torrent, seeping into the walls, peeling off the paint, rotting the wood, and eventually the entire plumbing system needs to be replaced. The same goes for our blood vessels. When the walls of the vessels weaken and lose elasticity, they become like leaky pipes. Blood no longer flows smoothly, allowing plaque and blood clots to form. And this, for older people, is the shortest path to a heart attack or stroke. Gotu kola, also known as pennywort, is nature's natural plumber. In traditional Indian and Chinese medicine, Gotu kola has been used for thousands of years to heal wounds and improve circulation. Today, modern science confirms 450 milliliters of Gotu kola per day can help blood vessels become more flexible, reduce inflammation, and improve elasticity. Helen, 68, from Texas, is a case in point. She often felt heavy and swollen in her legs after walking. Her doctor explained that her veins were weak, like rubber tubes that had expired. After incorporating a healthy diet and Gotu kola supplements as directed, she noticed a marked difference in just a few months. Her legs felt lighter, her circulation improved, and her energy returned. What's special is that Gotu kola doesn't just work alone. It also supports the effectiveness of pycnogenol, the nutrient you've heard about before. If pycnogenol is the cement that holds plaque in place, then Gotu kola is the armor that covers the blood vessel walls, making them more flexible and less vulnerable to damage. These two nutrients work together like a pair of repairmen, one to block the crack, the other to reinforce the entire pipeline. Remember, your heart has been beating for decades to keep you alive. It deserves to be cared for with safe, natural solutions. Gotu kola is no instant miracle, but with 450 ml a day, you are giving your circulatory system a chance to thrive again, fixing those leaky pipes before they cause disaster. Here's a little-known fact. Calcium may be your bone's faithful friend, but it can also be your heart's silent killer. Have you ever heard this story? Bill, 68, lives in Texas and drinks milk, eats cheese, and takes calcium supplements every morning. He is convinced that he is protecting his bones. But one afternoon, while walking his dog, he felt chest pain, had difficulty breathing, and had to be rushed to the hospital. The results were shocking. The calcium that he thought would only go into his bones had parked on the walls of his arteries, creating dangerous calcifications, making his arteries as hard as pipes clogged with cement. This is the dark side of calcium. Without a guide, stray calcium turns soft arteries into iron pipes, preventing blood from flowing freely. And you know what happens when blood flow is blocked? Heart attacks and strokes, killers of more than 700,000 Americans each year. But here comes a great guide, vitamin K2. Imagine calcium as bricks, bones as the house to be built, and arteries as the road. Without K2, calcium would be thrown around on the road, creating obstacles. But with K2, those bricks are brought to the right place, stacked firmly in the bone house, helping bones to be strong, while the blood flow is smooth and clean. Science has proven vitamin K2 activates the MGP protein, a smart gatekeeper that blocks calcium from sticking to the artery walls and transfers them to the bones. Thanks to that, you have strong bones and keep your arteries soft, away from the risk of calcification and hardening. And this is just one of the 7 secret nutrients I will reveal in this video. But trust me, nutrient number 7 is the real trump card that few people know about and can change your entire journey to protect your heart. Imagine a big rock rolling across the highway. For just a second, every car behind it has to stop. Case, danger. And that's exactly what a blood clot can do to the blood in your heart. Robert, 72, of Florida, used to think he was healthy. He still drove to fish, still mowed his own lawn. But one morning while drinking coffee, he felt a sharp pain in his chest and broke out in a sweat. Within minutes, he collapsed. At the hospital, doctors said the culprit was a blood clot, an invisible stone that had suddenly blocked the blood flow to his heart. Here's the thing. Our bodies have a glue called fibrin. Normally, it helps stop bleeding when we're injured, but when too much fibrin builds up, it becomes a chain binding the blood, forming deadly clots. And when that clot breaks loose, it can travel through the bloodstream and get stuck in a coronary artery, like a boulder blocking a highway, bringing the entire system to a standstill for a moment. This is where nattokinase comes in. Derived from the traditional Japanese dish natto, this natural enzyme acts like a special rescue team. It finds excess fibrin strands, shreds them, and dissolves the blockage. As a result, blood can continue to flow freely, the heart is nourished, and the risk of heart attack is significantly reduced. Modern science has recorded nattokinase helps improve blood circulation, reduce the thickness of blood vessel walls, and support the prevention of blood clots. You can imagine it as an invisible excavator in the blood vessels, clearing away stones and blockages, leaving your blood path clear and safe. If you've ever been afraid of a sudden heart attack, remember that there are natural solutions like nattokinase, and that's only the 4th nutrient on the list of 7 secrets. Trust me, the last one is even more surprising, something simple but powerful that can protect your heart for decades. Imagine an old pan. After years of cooking, a thick, hard layer of grease sticks to it, and no matter how hard you wash it, it's hard to get rid of. That's the image of bad cholesterol in your arteries. William, 68, had always prided himself on his health. He rarely got sick and walked his dog every morning. But a recent blood test shocked him. His LDL, the bad cholesterol, was well above the safe level, while his HDL, the good cholesterol, was low. If left unchecked, his doctor said bluntly, your risk of heart attack will double. This is the problem millions of older Americans face. LDL is like a layer of dirty grease stuck to a frying pan, accumulating in the arteries, narrowing the blood flow, starving the heart of oxygen. The more LDL, the more clogged the blood path. Meanwhile, HDL is like a sponge, quietly collecting excess fat, bringing it back to the liver for processing. When HDL is low, the body is like losing its professional cleaning team. And that's where niacin, aka vitamin B3, the one that gives you that warm flush feeling, comes in. Niacin acts like a hardcore pan scrubber. It significantly lowers LDL while increasing HDL, giving your body more soldiers to clean up bad cholesterol. After just a few months of proper supplementation, multiple studies have shown that niacin can significantly improve your blood lipid profile, reducing your risk of clogged arteries. The flushing or warm feeling after taking niacin is unpleasant for many people, but it is actually a sign that it is working, dilating blood vessels, and promoting circulation. Of course, the dosage must be adjusted under the guidance of a doctor because cardiovascular health is no joke. Niacin is a double whammy. It lowers LDL and raises HDL, like cleaning grease from a pan and adding a protective layer that keeps it shiny longer. For the heart, this means clearer arteries, freer blood flow, and a better chance of living a healthy, heart attack-free life. And that's just nutrient number 5 on the list. Keep reading, because nutrient number 7, which is less well known, has the power to protect your heart well into your old age. Have you ever seen a forest fire that's been put out, but underneath the ash there are still smoldering embers? Just a little wind can turn it into a raging fire? That's inflammation smoldering in your blood vessels. Robert, 72, thought that his risk of heart disease had been greatly reduced by quitting smoking. But a carotid artery scan revealed that he still had smoldering vasculitis, which makes plaques vulnerable and at risk of rupturing at any moment. Inflammation is like glowing embers in the arteries, the doctor explained. They are painless, but can trigger a heart attack in a split second. The problem is, the inflammation smolders without obvious symptoms. It doesn't give you a fever or cause you severe pain, but day by day, hour by hour, it eats away at your artery walls, making the soft plaques more fragile and prone to breaking. And when a plaque ruptures, a blood clot forms instantly, like a fire bursting from hot coals. The result is a sudden heart attack that can kill you in minutes. This is why tocotrienols, a rare member of the vitamin E family, are considered by scientists to be the elite firefighters of the circulatory system. Unlike regular vitamin E, tocopherols, tocotrienols have a unique structure that allows them to penetrate deep into the cell layers of blood vessels, reaching the site of smoldering inflammation. Once there, they act like cool drops of water to extinguish the embers, soothing the inflammation and preventing it from exploding into a full-blown fire. Not only that, tocotrienols also have the ability to protect cell membranes from oxidative stress, reduce the formation of new plaque, and even help lower cholesterol. That means in addition to putting out fires, they also fence off forests, protect the soil, and help the vascular system recover and become more sustainable. Think of it this way. If LDL is the fuel that is poured on the fire, then tocotrienols are the foam that covers the fire, preventing the fire from spreading. A study in the US showed that people who regularly supplemented with tocotrienols had significantly reduced signs of vascular inflammation and improved arterial elasticity after just a few months. After combining a green-rich diet, daily walking, and supplementing with tocotrienols, Robert's next test showed a significant reduction in his inflammation index. I felt relieved as if I had escaped an underground fire without even knowing it, he recalled. The message is clear. Don't let inflammation continue to eat away at your heart. Tocotrienols may not be a household name on the dinner table, but they're a silent ally, extinguishing the dangerous fire in your veins. And when that fire is under control, you'll give your heart a new chance to beat millions, billions more for your family and yourself. And remember, this is only nutrient number 6. Stay until the end because nutrient number 7 is the most powerful secret that few people know about. Have you ever seen a garden hose after winter? It looks normal on the outside, but on the inside it is hardened, cracked, and can burst with just a little force. Our arteries, when they accumulate plaque and calcification, are exactly the same. Brittle, hard, and prone to breaking. But the good news is that the body is not helpless. Nature has given us a quartet of nutrients that can soften the walls of the arteries, quench inflammation, and restore elasticity: aged garlic, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D. Let's start with aged garlic. When fresh garlic is aged for months, it turns into a shiny black substance called aged garlic extract. Research shows that a compound in aged garlic can reduce the stiffness of arteries by up to 30%. I remember the story of Mr. James, 68, in Texas. He used to have to stop walking every 10 minutes because of chest pain. After persistently using aged garlic and combining it with a new lifestyle, his doctor said his blood vessels were 15 years younger. He laughed and said, "I thought I was going to be stuck on the sofa, but now I can play ball with my grandchildren." Magnesium is a quiet but powerful mineral. Think of it as the locksmith for your blood vessels. It helps the muscles in your blood vessels relax, preventing spasms and improving circulation. People who are deficient in magnesium often have high blood pressure and a rapid heartbeat. Many studies in the US have shown that a diet rich in magnesium, from green leafy vegetables, pumpkin seeds, almonds, reduces the risk of stroke by up to 40%. Potassium is like a voltage equalizer. When the body absorbs enough potassium from fruits and vegetables, it will push out sodium, reducing the pressure on the blood vessel walls. Imagine the blood vessels as a dam. Sodium rushes in and the water is about to overflow, while potassium is the release valve, helping to lower the pressure and prevent the dam from breaking. And vitamin D, sunshine in a tiny capsule, plays a role in controlling inflammation. It not only supports immunity, but also works with magnesium and potassium to keep arteries supple and free from cementification. Without vitamin D, blood vessels can easily become brittle concrete pipes, just waiting to burst. When these four substances combine, the effect is like a synchronized rescue team. Aged garlic clears plaque, magnesium clears the way, potassium reduces pressure, vitamin D reduces inflammation. The result? Blood vessels are no longer like winter pipes, but are flexible like spring streams. And remember, this isn't just a theory. More than 700,000 heart attacks occur each year in the United States. But research shows that nutrition and lifestyle can prevent many of them. That means every decision you make in your grocery cart, every clove of garlic or bunch of greens you pick, could be a building block in your life. At the end of the video, I'll reveal to you how to combine this 4 into a simple 90-day formula that can help your blood vessels recover naturally. Want to hear it? You can swallow dozens of pills, take all kinds of expensive supplements, but if your lifestyle is still wrong, the result is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. And that is the tragedy facing millions of Americans over 60. Fast food culture means meals are often wrapped in greasy burgers, stressful workdays make the heart beat faster than normal, and sleep is rarely a full 7 hours. And so the heart endures day by day until one morning it suddenly stops. Think of your body as a house. You can't just paint the roof if the foundation is still cracked. If you want a healthy heart, you have to rebuild it from the ground up through your daily lifestyle. Start in the kitchen. Did you know that crispy fried onions can be delicious without a drop of oil? Just use vegetable or chicken stock to stir-fry the flavor, but you cut out hundreds of useless calories in the layer of fat that will stick to the walls of the arteries. That is the art of zero-oil cooking, protecting the heart and saving money on cooking oil. Next, get moving. You don't have to run a marathon, just break up your 30-minute walk into 3 sessions a day, after breakfast, mid-afternoon, and evening. Imagine each step scrubbing your blood vessels, washing away stubborn layers of fat. I once met Linda, 72, who used to get out of breath after just a few flights of stairs. After 3 months of walking 3 times a day, she said, "I feel like I'm 50 again." And finally, by saying, to sleep and breathing. Give your heart a full 7 to 8 hours of rest each night. Before bed, try the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. It's like hitting the reset button on your nervous system, bringing your heart rate back to a calm state. The American way of life may break your heart, but you can choose to rebuild it every day. Every low-fat meal, every walk in the park, every night of restful sleep, all are invisible shields that will protect your heart for many more years to come. Your heart is your retirement. Invest a little every day, and you will withdraw more than you will ever have. Stop and think about that for a second. You've saved for retirement, bought insurance, and put every penny toward your future. But what about the most important retirement fund? Your heart. If you don't feed it every day, it will eventually declare bankruptcy before your very eyes. Remember the 7 nutritional bodyguards mentioned? Pycnogenol helps stabilize the time bomb. Gotu Cola fixes the leaky water pipe. Vitamin K2 returns calcium cement to the bones. Nattokinase clears the stone blocking the blood highway. Niacin sweeps away excess fat in the pan. Tocotrienols extinguish the embers of smoldering inflammation. And finally, the quartet of aged garlic. Magnesium, potassium, vitamin D helps the blood vessels to be as soft as new water pipes. Add to that a healthy lifestyle, cooking without oil, walking every day, getting enough sleep, and breathing deeply. That is the formula to clean cholesterol naturally in 90 days. The lesson is in the back. If you ignore it, the price you pay is not just a sudden heart attack. It can be a fall that leaves you unable to be independent, relying on your children for even the smallest things. It can be a page-long hospital bill that eats up your life savings. And sometimes it can be an abrupt end, robbing you of the chance to enjoy old age with the people you love. But the good news is that you're not helpless. You can take action today. Check with your doctor before taking any supplements. Eat more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Cut back on fat. Walk at least 30 minutes a day. And give your heart a full 7-8 hours of rest each night. Your heart has been beating faithfully for you for more than 60 years, never stopping, whether in fatigue or happiness. It is time for you to repay it. Start with the smallest things so that it can continue to accompany you, beating the rhythm of life for millions, even billions of more beats. Your heart has beaten more than 2.5 billion times since the day you were born. Let it beat a billion more times. Imagine this moment. Each beat is a gift, a ticket to see your children and grandchildren, to take one more leisurely walk in the park, to enjoy a peaceful morning with your loved one. Thank you for staying until the end. It shows that you really value your heart. Staying until the end is the best decision you can make for your health today. You have invested your time and your heart will be the first to benefit. Before I leave, I have 3 small but meaningful appeals. Subscribe to the channel to receive more heart-protecting secrets, knowledge that can become a shield against the risk of sudden heart attacks. Share this video with your friends or family. Who knows, thanks to your share button, someone will avoid a heart attack, and you will be the reason they are still here to smile at their children and grandchildren. And finally, comment below. What nutrients surprised you the most? I want to hear your story because sharing can open up a useful conversation for the whole community. And as promised, nutrition secret number 7 is the magic combination: aged garlic, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D. This is a little-known quartet, but it has the power to soften arteries, reduce inflammation, and help your heart maintain its resilience. It is the trump card that helps you not only live longer, but live healthier, more confident, and more fulfilled. Leave this video with hope. Your heart can still be strong, not only for yourself, but also for your family, who always want you to be healthy, smile, and be with them for a long time. This is not just science, this is love and responsibility for your own life.